Hi everyone, it's Kayvon with Askari Art. So I'm excited today. I'm about to do a 63-inch by 43-inch canvas piece. Frame is already done, it's already stretched. I typically do three coats of Kills and I wet sand in between each. Kills 2 actually, water-based. You want to make sure you do that. And I sand it in between so that I get a really nice smooth finish. I leave certain areas with texture so you can kind of see the texture through the ink. And this is going to be exciting. This is a big commission piece. Another, not as big as my next one that's coming up. That's going to be 10 feet by 5.5 feet. But nevertheless, this is still exciting because of what we're about to do with the colors. So the colors that we're going to be using today are Cobalt by Tim Holtz, Boysenberry by Tim Holtz. I don't know if you can kind of, I don't know if it's going to get into focus, but I'll try. A Mermaid and Copic Black 100. So I'm super excited. So let me show you one more thing. So I've got these swatches too that I've made of each color, so I can kind of see how each color reacts. That's Boysenberry, by the way. Here's Mermaid. I do these swatches so I can really see the color and what it does. Here's the Copic 100 Black. And I don't know if you can see this on camera, but over here you got some pink coming out. I don't know if you could see that, but it's got some pinks and blues in it, which will be really nice. And here's Cobalt. Yeah. So all these swatches are on my website, askariart.com/blog. They're free to download. You don't have to do anything. You just go to the blog, and I'll have a page dedicated to this. I right now all these colors are spread out through each of my blog posts that I do swatch tests on. But I will include all of these on one page, and I'll have it down below in the description. So check it out. The other tools that I'll be using is obviously the Giotto lens cleaner. It's like a little rocket. I'll be using a blow dryer. I'll be using 99% alcohol, and I will be using what else? Let's see. That's it, I think. Oh, respirator and gloves. Very important when you're doing large pieces like this. Any pieces, honestly. You want to make sure that you have safety first, because anything that goes in your lungs can't clean out. So you don't want these fumes in your lungs. All right, let's do it.
Hi everyone. So this video is going to be a multi-part series video, and it's going to basically go over the topics of struggle. And not every painting is going to be perfect on the first try. And you're going to learn from this painting, not actually how to create, but the mindset that you need to be in as you create, and how to solve problems as they come up, problems that you didn't expect. So this is a fairly large canvas that I've already treated, and I'm going through this, and I just put down the alcohol, 99% alcohol, like my standard process, and I put down the Copic Black. Now, the Copic Black I've never really used. I've only used it on a smaller scale, not ever on a large piece like this. And as soon as I put it down and tried to spread it just now, you can see that it's a lot of pigment. And that surprised me because I'm not used to this level of pigment from a lot of the Tim Holtz stuff. So I'm pretty much in my head and my heart, I'm kind of freaking out here because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is so much ink. And I didn't put a lot, I put as much as I normally do. And I noticed that it's just not spreading. It's just too much pigment. Second, it looks like it's staining the canvas. You can see here on the top um, right corner, there are those like blue fingers, and here you see I'm trying to spread it out. I'm trying to thin the alcohol, the pigment down, and I'm pushing it in, and you can see how you see right there, it's left some blue stain. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is not working out. Do I stop the video and just completely reset, go like, re-kills this stuff, like just cover it back up and start over? or do I try to keep going forward? And, you know, I decided to go forward to see if I can save it. And I do this sometimes because it helps me grow. It also helps me teach you kind of like, this kind of struggle and what do you do when you're in that kind of situation. So let's get to it. And right here, I'm adding the boysenberry and the mermaid and the cobalt blue. And I'm hoping that this allows me to kind of spread that color out a little bit more so that the black is not so obtrusive. But I failed to realize that the pigment is going to overtake the color, the black pigment. So let's watch. So I'm adding this, I'm moving the blue out and the purple, the boysenberry out. And I'm thinking, okay, this is looking okay. Now it's coming out. The colors are seeping from the black, what I've originally wanted. But the more I push it out, the more I'm like, okay, this is nice. Okay, this is working. Um, but again, like I mentioned, the black starts taking over. When I start moving it out, it starts taking over the pink and the purple, and it starts making it all dark blue, only or dark purple. And you can see here, it looks kind of cool, but it's not, it's not my forte. It's too dark for me, and it's too much pigment. And I'm just trying to move it. I'm trying to move this ink out, this black, either completely into the middle, and it's not willing to go, or off the canvas, as you can see. See, I'm trying to push it around and bring it back. Now, I'm getting frustrated here because the ink is not the alcohol is basically being a little finicky. It's not really moving the ink the way I want it, so I keep adding more to see if it helps lift. Now, I think the problem is I may have sanded this too much, and when you do that, the color like black, for example, you see those fingers on the literally in the middle bottom. I think the kills I sanded it too much, and I didn't kills after the second coat. I sanded way too much, so it's leaving residue, and that's a big issue. And like you can see here, like I'm putting more alcohol, and it's not even moving. You see how it's like the blue on the top? It's still there. It's just not moving it, and I just keep adding more and more, and it starts spraying and leaves dots, and because I'm getting frustrated, so it's just adding to the frustration. So the alcohol is drying, and I keep adding more alcohol to it, and I'm noticing that it's not moving at all. Like the ink's not moving. It's leaving a stain. The Tim Holtz colors are sort of moving, but not as much as I'd like. So in my mind at this point, I'm at like utter disbelief. I'm completely discouraged. I'm like, okay, let me add more color to it, see if I can help that color spread out. Um, I'm at like, see the right there, I added the mermaid, and see instantly I added the mermaid and or cobalt, and it the black mixed and it made it dark blue, like just quickly, because and I keep, I kept adding alcohol to it to see if I can just spread it out more and thin it down, and it just was not working. So I'm really frustrated at this point, like in general. I'm like, recording this video, trying to teach others, and this is happening. It's just not working out the way I wanted. A lot of things running in my head. Like, is the client gonna like this? It's too dark. The client's gonna hate it. It's just too dark. What am I doing? These are some of the doubt and discouragement that just, um, that's in my head at this moment. But I keep pushing forward. So I keep adding alcohol to it to see if I can move it. I'm seeing some things happening that are really pretty. I'm like, okay, this is really nice. There's some really nice stuff happening. But again, the center in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's too dark. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to thin this down. So I keep adding alcohol. This is probably my second bottle. Typically use a lot of alcohol, and you notice it's not moving the cobalt now. And I'm thinking, okay, why is the cobalt not moving? It's just, you noticed I put alcohol there and it's just not moving it. I'm letting it soak. I'm trying to move it around and it's just not happening. So I keep adding more color, thinking that's the solution. I'm going to overrun the black with color. Bad idea. And this is what happens when you're frustrated. I mean, you make certain decisions that you wouldn't if you weren't frustrated. So I should have, at this point, stopped the video and just walked away from it and came back to it later. But I didn't do that. And it just caused more and more issues. So I'm going to fast forward through this, speed it up a bit. So as I'm trying to move this black ink, I noticed that, yeah, you can see some of the color from underneath, but the lighter color, the boysenberry, is turning to a rich dark purple. And that's not really what I'm looking for. So, there's going to be this long, I just keep adding alcohol. It's this long process that I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to move the ink in and around so that I can make it, so I can fade it and bring it through, bring the color through, as you can see right there. And I keep coming across the same thing through this whole process, that the pigment of the black is overpowering. So at this point, I am beyond frustrated. And as a person becomes frustrated, we start making mistakes like right there. The blow dryer is spraying the alcohol everywhere, and I'm trying to control that issue. So I'm adding more alcohol and I'm pushing it around. And as I'm pushing this around, I'm noticing that there's like a blue stain that the black pigment left behind. So I've got a lot of alcohol on this canvas, and I keep adding color underneath. And I'm also spraying. So I don't know if you can see that, but like the blow dryer, I guess, because it's on hot and the blow dryer is set to high. It's just spraying the alcohol that's in the middle there. It's just spraying it out, and I'm having to like go back and correct it because of the frustration. So it keeps building. So I'm trying to get this alcohol to dry. So I just keep moving it around, keep making more and more mistakes. Um, Now at this point, my goal is to just move it to a place where it's more concentrated so that I can remove it. But see, as you can see here, like I'm just frustrated trying to just get it to the center so it dries. And I'm making mistakes. There's like I'm the blow dryer is set on hot, on high, and it's causing a lot of fingers because I'm just trying to get this stuff dried. And you can see, as time is going by, um, I turned off the light so you can kind of see it. So it's it's turning down now. It's kind of, um, drying up, and I'm adding alcohol to see if I can kind of push it and move it a little bit more. And just I'm about to take a break because I'm just done. But listen to my voice and the frustration in my voice and how deflated I am. And also notice that as I speak, I'm still trying to fix it. So the lesson to be learned from this is don't wait so long to take a break from the work. Don't let the frustration build. Stop a little sooner, take more breaks. When you come back to it, it'll help you with clear mind so that you can get back to it. I obviously waited way too long, and the frustration built up to a point where I wasn't even able to correctly tell you what I was going to do in my next video. So, yeah, listen.
All right, everyone. So I'm going to take a quick break because I've been working at this. The black really did not expect the amount of pigment that this Copic has. It's ridiculous. The amount of pigment, I just thought it was going to be as, thought it's going to have as much pigment as the the Tim Holtz colors, but it obviously has a lot more. And I'm learning about it as I go. I've never used this black before. I've always used pitch black. It's just different, and it's turning out to be interesting. Um, Interesting is not really the word I'm looking at for, but not really liking it because it's too dark. So I may have to come back and push everything out, back in. I'm sorry, back in. Yeah, so I'll be back to it. I need to take a break because it's hot and I'm frustrated, and it's part of the journey, though.
Indeed, it is. And you can hear the frustration in my voice. Okay, so stay tuned for part two, where I start to solve this and I tell you how I solve it, and you can see how I work it out. And be sure to subscribe. Askari art. Thanks.